I'm fired. Why? The faces of those two at that time are still burned into my head even now. Why do I have to quit this company that is my dream workplace? Daniel, please make sure to properly reflect on your actions. Well, even if you do, I don't know if you'll be able to stay at this company. Damn it. Why? My dreams were all ended because of those bastards. Welcome. Today's specials are hot dogs and nachos. My name is Daniel Reynolds. I'm a 25-year-old convenience store employee. That'll be chips, drink, and magazine. Your total is $16.60. I'm used to the routine, so I skillfully operate the register and bag the items. It's already been half a year since I started working part-time at this convenience store. Currently, I'm barely getting by with this convenience store job while searching for a new career. Originally, I worked at L&L, the well-known top-tier apparel company that everyone knows. I always loved various fashions, so working at an apparel company after graduating college was my dream. And I was lucky enough to actually get hired at L&L. The fashion industry, where trends change at a dizzying pace, is a very challenging world. But being able to work at the apparel company I loved was my biggest source of purpose in life. The person who threw my life into chaos was a new employee named Madison Parker. Madison was the #1 beauty even among the many attractive employees at L&L, known for its beautiful staff. Apparently she had been selected as the runner-up in a beauty pageant during college and had worked as a model. Within a month of joining the company, her name was so well known that everyone knew of her. Even the vice president, Hayden Johnson, the next CEO of L&L, was aware of her. But I'm probably the only one who knows Madison's true nature. Since I was in the same product planning and development department of the apparel division, I often worked together with Madison. At first things were normal, but as she became more and more celebrated within the company, her arrogance gradually escalated. Hey, Daniel, have the product plan done by the end of today, but I also have work I need to finish by tomorrow. Obviously, the product plan is more important than your menial tasks. This work is also important, involving another company. Just hurry up and finish this first. I need to make it in time for the meeting, and I'll handle making appointments and having discussions with the other company. I'm more likely to land a contract than you anyway. I can just. You should just focus on doing the behind-the-scenes work. If this product plan doesn't go well, I'll tell Hayden and have you transferred to a different department. Are you okay with that? Fine, I got it. Whenever Madison forced work onto me, she'd always threaten to tattle to Hayden. There were rumors that Madison was dating Hayden Johnson, the VP, the younger brother of the CEO and heir apparent to the company. Of course, to me as a lowly employee, the thought of getting weird complaints made about me to the VP and potentially being forced to quit filled me with dread. So I had no choice but to go along with Madison's selfish demands. As this continued day after day, a certain incident occurred. On the day of an important business meeting with the CEO of a major select shop, Madison was a no-show without notice. This infuriated the select shop CEO. The CEO of L&L managed to smooth things over afterwards, but the company atmosphere turned toxic after such an important meeting nearly fell apart. Then Hayden, the VP, showed up at our department to get the details on what happened. That's what threw my life into turmoil. Why did you miss the meeting today without notice? Mr. Johnson asked Madison with his arms crossed. Actually, I thought the meeting was scheduled for tomorrow. I deeply regret my mistake and am very sorry. Madison replied. It's rare for you to mix up the schedule like that. Is that really all there is to it? Just an honest mistake on your part? Well, for a moment, Madison glanced over at me. I didn't want to cause trouble for Daniel, so I thought I should take responsibility myself. But to prevent the same mistake in the future, I'll be fully honest now. What is it? When Mr. Johnson asked again, Madison opened her mouth with a troubled expression. Actually, Daniel gave me the wrong schedule. Suddenly hearing my name, I was momentarily at a loss for words. What? Hold on a minute. I definitely told her the correct meeting date. Do you have proof of that? Proof? I told her verbally, so there's no concrete evidence. But, listen, Madison always carries her planner with her and does her work. She's never been even a second late to any meetings with me. There's no way she'd mistake such an important date, right? Mr. Johnson glared at me with icy eyes, as if I was the guilty party. Isn't the root cause that you didn't properly communicate the meeting date to her? But are you still trying to make excuses? Do you even understand who you're talking to? Well, you're fired. Don't bother coming and starting tomorrow. I'm fired. Why is this my fault? The dismissal left my mind blank. I don't really remember what happened after that. And so, I was fired from the apparel company I loved and ended up working at a convenience store. Guess I should restock the hot dogs, I muttered to myself, noticing the hot dog counter was running low when the entrance chimed and the door opened. Hello. As I greeted the customer, I saw two young girls who looked to be in elementary school standing at the entrance. The two of them glanced around the store, spotted the hot dog counter by the register, and walked over. Hi, the hot dogs are on special today. Matching my line of sight, I said that, and the two girls were quiet for a moment before holding out a single dime they had been clutching. Please, could we just get a bun for my little sister? Skinny arms poking out of slightly dirty clothes. Since she called the other her little sister, these two must be siblings. Mister, please use this to let my big sis have a bun. Saying that, the other girl handed me a bunch of shiny marbles. I'm sorry. I can sell you hot dogs or give you just the bun for this. Feeling awkward, I handed the diamond marbles back to the girls. These kids probably haven't had a proper meal in days. At this rate, they might collapse somewhere. You're right. Sorry for asking too much. Hastily gripping the dime and taking her little sister's hand, the girl tried to hurry out of the store. Seeing their retreating backs, I instinctively called out to them. Hey, I'll treat you to something, so pick out whatever food you want. When I said that, the two girls showed me smiles I hadn't seen from them before. Really? Is that okay? Of course, today's special after all. When I smiled at them, the two looked at each other and ran over to the food section. Hannah, I want this pasta. What about you, Olivia? Maybe I'll get this pasta too. The same as me. Seems the older sister's name is Olivia and the younger one is Hannah. Holding the steaming hot pasta heated up in the microwave, the sisters stuffed their cheeks full at the eaten space in the corner of the store. You two, eat slowly, okay? Okay. Drinking the juice I bought them too, Olivia and Hannah raised their hands in unison. Have you girls not been able to eat proper meals lately? Yeah, our mom got sick. Our uncle came to take care of us, but he doesn't do anything. Hannah wasn't getting to eat, so I thought I'd use my allowance to get her something. But, I see, so that's how it is. Well, do you have a home to go back to? Yeah, we'll be all right. That's good, I'm relieved to hear that at least. Wiping the sauce off little Hannah's mouth, I felt some of my worry lift. What's your name, mister? Huh? It's Daniel. Daniel, we'll definitely pay you back for this. Haha, thanks. Chuckling, I took out a business card just in case. I know it's weird to still carry my old L and L cards around, but they are the only proof I have that I used to work at that company. So I still keep them safe. If anything happens, call the cell number on here. I'll come help anytime. Got it. Bye, Daniel. Having finished their pasta, the sisters waved as they left the store. Earlier I was in a bad mood thinking about the past, but now I feel relaxed somehow. Come to think of it, those girls' clothes were worn out, but nice. Noticing people's outfits no matter the situation might be a bad habit of mine. Realizing that myself, I felt I really do want to work at an apparel company again. After work, I went back to my cheap apartment. Eating a plain microwave meal, I flipped through job hunting magazines. Looking at just the requirements, it's pretty tough. The money I saved up at L&L is gradually dwindling. With just the income from this convenience store job, I can't even buy the clothes I want lately. I was really lucky to get hired at L&L in the first place. Suddenly, I recalled my job hunting days in college. Driven only by my desire to work at an apparel company, I went to interview after interview. At my final interview with the CEO for L&L, I passionately pitched the greatness of the company's clothing. With no real design sense myself, I figured the only way to get into L&L was to convey how much I loved their clothes. Amidst the overwhelming experience, the only thing I clearly remember is the CEO's smile during the interview. And when I got the job offer from L&L, I thought about wanting to become someone who could share the joy and wonder of fashion with even more people at this company. I stopped reading the job magazine and laid down, staring up at the old ceiling. The ceiling, on the verge of leaking, has water stains like polka dots. For now, I just have to endure. Surely a chance will come someday to work at an apparel company again. I resolved to do my best once more so I can seize my dreams again. A few days later, as always, I left my apartment and went down the stairs to head to my convenience store job. Then, I noticed a black car parked on the side of the road ahead of me. Why is such a fancy-looking car near this old apartment building? The car caught my attention, but figuring it had nothing to do with me, I tried to walk past it. But right then, the rear door of the black car opened. "Daniel, we finally found you." "Huh? Oh, Olivia and Hannah." Seeing the sisters get out of the car, I let out a flabbergasted voice. The unexpected reunion was surprising, but more than that, seeing the girls' faces looking healthier than a few days ago put me at ease. "Why are you two here?" We're on our way to the hospital to see Mom right now. But before that, we wanted to come see you, Daniel. You came to see me. Also, what's with this car?" As confusion swirled in my head, the driver's side door opened and a man stepped out. Seeing him, I became even more baffled. CEO Thomas Johnson. The one who got out of the car was Thomas Johnson, the CEO of the apparel company L&L where I used to work. The instant I saw the CEO, my back straightened on reflex. "Daniel, I heard you helped out my daughters." "Your daughters, sir?" He means me and Hannah. "What?" "Olivia and Hannah are the CEO's daughters." I looked back and forth between the girls' faces and the CEO's. Indeed, I could see a resemblance around their eyes. "I see. No wonder their clothes seemed off. Even though they hadn't been able to eat properly, and their clothes were all worn out, the outfits they had on were quite fashionable." I thought it was strange. But if they're your daughters, it makes sense they'd be wearing stylish clothes. "You've got a keen eye for my daughter's fashion, as expected." When the CEO said that, sounding impressed, I awkwardly scratched my head. My daughters told me about how a convenience store employee helped them out. When I saw the business card they said he gave them, I was surprised to find it was from our company. "So we really wanted to thank you properly, Daniel. We got Dad to help us come see you." "I see. So that's what happened." "You see, the girl's mother, my wife Jessica, has fallen ill and is hospitalized. The day the girls went to the store, her condition was especially poor. I was at the hospital, worried about my wife. While I was gone, I told my younger brother Hayden to look after the girls, but it seems he left them alone at home and went out somewhere. The VP, Hayden, did that." Just hearing the name of Hayden Johnson, one of the reasons I was forced to quit, made my stomach hurt. Come to think of it, why are you working at a convenience store? I always liked the project proposals you submitted, but recently I haven't seen any and thought it was odd. "But, actually, I was fired from L&L half a year ago." "Fired? Why would you be fired?" I then told the CEO the whole story of how I was dismissed. And in the end, Hayden pronounced that I was fired. "I see. So that's what happened." Indeed, I've felt Hayden's recent conduct has been inexcusable. Not just with my daughters, but arbitrarily firing one of my employees. Who does he think he is? Having heard the full story, the CEO was trembling with rage. This might be the first time I've ever seen his face so red. "Daniel, could you come with me for a bit?" "Yes, sir." Unable to refuse the CEO's forceful request, I got into the passenger seat of the car. Along with the CEO and his two daughters, I was taken to the L&L headquarters. Arriving at the L&L office, we made our way to the product planning and development department I used to work in. "Is Hayden here?" At the CEO's sudden visit, everyone's gaze turned to us. Right after, I could hear people whispering to each other after seeing me standing next to him. According to the false story, I had given Madison the wrong schedule, which nearly caused an important meeting to fall through, and was ultimately fired by the VP. I'm sure baseless rumors had been attached to me, and weird things were being said about me within the company. I had been prepared for it, but actually being exposed to that atmosphere made my heart sink. I asked if Hayden is here. Well, as if to pierce through the dead silence, the CEO's voice rang out again. "Bro, What in the world is going on? Hidden behind a desk and out of sight until now. Hayden poked his head out. Ah, so you were here after all. I hear you've been hanging around this department a lot lately. And where is Madison Parker? Is she here too? Startled at suddenly hearing her name, Madison flinched. Yes, what is it? I need to confirm something with you too. It's about that meeting the other day. Which meeting are you talking about? The one with that select shop CEO. I heard you were absent without notice. That's not true. I didn't skip it without notice. Daniel gave me the wrong schedule. That's right. Madison was deceived by this man. Sir, please believe me. He told me the false schedule. And since there's no proof, he tried to make it seem like I just made a mistake. Have you ever seen such a terrible man? Trying to shift the blame onto others. How despicable. Seeing Madison rapidly make her case to the CEO, I was reminded of that same scene from before. Once the fact that I did it had been established, surely nothing would change. I had nearly half given up myself. But right then, one of my former coworkers who had been listening raised his hand meekly. I think what Daniel is saying is probably true. I heard him clearly tell Madison the correct schedule. I heard it too. I believe Daniel properly communicated the meeting date. At that time, Madison didn't seem to be listening carefully. I also overheard it. I think Madison is lying. You guys. Once one person testified to the truth, that wave spread, and everyone started telling what really happened. Daniel, I'm sorry. I should have spoken up about the truth back then. But I was too scared of Hayden. I truly regret it. It's okay, thank you. In other words, Hayden, you and Madison conspired under the false pretense that Daniel was lying, and arbitrarily fired him. Is that right? Well, I have no need for liars like you at my company. Don't bother coming and starting tomorrow. You mean we're fired? Told they were dismissed by the CEO, Madison and Hayden crumpled to their knees with blank expressions, as if their souls had left their bodies. Oh, and Daniel, there's something important I need to discuss with you. As the CEO started to say something to me, his cell phone rang. Yes, I understand. The surgery was a success. That's great. The CEO wrapped up the short phone call, then turned to Olivia and Hannah with a smile. Olivia, Hannah, Mommy's operation went well. Really? Yay. Hearing the news from the hospital, Olivia and Hannah were overjoyed, looking at each other. Can we go see Mommy now? Of course we can. So your mother was having surgery? Yeah, but Mommy said she'd get better after the surgery, so it's okay. I see. I hope she recovers soon. Me too. Hey, you should come with us to visit her. Beaming, Hannah tugged on my sleeve as she said that. Is that all right? Absolutely. My wife will be happier with more people there. Arriving at the hospital, we found the sister's mother, Jessica, lying in bed. Oh my darling, Olivia, Hannah, you all came. Yeah. And who is this with you? He's an excellent employee at my company. I felt embarrassed seeing the CEO boast about me to his wife like that. But sir, I was fired, so you can just come back. I would never approve of a dismissal that occurred without my knowledge in the first place. Meaning, I can work at L&L again. Of course. Actually, the reason that meeting with the select shop CEO went well was thanks to you. Thanks to me. Not understanding what he meant at all, I just stood there dumbfounded until the CEO explained the details. You're the one who set up that first meeting appointment, right? You're right about that. I thought that select shop would become a popular store among young people in the future, so I managed to set up a meeting with them somehow. Apparently, after hearing your passion for fashion at that time, they were interested in having a business discussion. I see, so that's how it was. But they were quite disappointed when the person in charge of the meeting changed from you to that young lady. Indeed, originally I was supposed to be in charge of that meeting. However, Madison told me to let her take over, so I was removed as the one handling it. Sure, Madison may be pretty, but I don't sense a love for fashion in her. As someone running an apparel company, I want to work with people who are passionate about fashion. As he said that, the CEO patted my shoulder twice. When I heard your enthusiasm during your job interview, I knew I wanted to work with you. Your love for fashion exceeded my expectations. Many of the project proposals you submitted were truly innovative. Seeing the CEO's kind expression, I felt like I might cry. I put you through a lot of trouble, and I can't thank you enough for feeding my daughters that pasta. So once again, thank you. When the CEO grasped my hand, I felt the light of hope welling up inside me again. Just then, there was a soft knock on the hospital room door. Oh, could that be my younger sister Brianna? Come in. Right after Jessica said that, an extremely beautiful woman entered the room. I thought it was you, Brianna. Oh, you guys are all here too. When Brianna, Jessica's younger sister, walked in, I was captivated by her stunning beauty. And you are? My name is Daniel Reynolds. Nice to meet you. I'm Brianna. Thank you for coming to visit my sister, Daniel. Seeing Brianna's face, gently smiling, my face turned so red that steam was practically coming out of my ears. By the way, Aunt Brianna is a current fashion model. What? I peeked at Brianna's face again and realized I had indeed seen it before. She's now a supermodel gracing the covers of famous women's fashion magazines. So you're the Brianna, that super popular model. Aunt Brianna also won the beauty pageant last year. Huh? Last year's beauty pageant winner. If it was last year, that's the same year Madison was the runner-up. Madison Parker. I think there was a girl like that. But she didn't seem like a good person, so I didn't get friendly with her. Brianna gave her a smile, blushing cutely. That playful expression made my face turn red again. Daniel, your face is all red. Yeah, you look like an apple. Olivia, Hannah, quit teasing me. And so, I was able to safely return to my beloved apparel company L&L, where I now work as the ace of the product planning and development department. For this year's spring/summer collection, I think crow's pink will be trendy for women and British style for men. So as a company, I'm thinking we should select models to match that. Alright, I'll leave this year's spring/summer plans to you. Thank you very much. What's more, Brianna and I gradually grew closer until we started dating. Having Brianna make me lunches to take to work has become a secret joy of mine lately. By the way, I don't know what ended up happening with Madison and Hayden. After being fired by the CEO, apparently the two of them fled the company. There were rumors for a while that they would get married, but I heard that after Hayden became unemployed, his relationship with Madison deteriorated and they broke up. I also went through a painful experience once, but now I'm happier than ever. I work at my favorite apparel company, L&L, and found someone precious to me. Going forward, I want to protect this happiness. Daniel, let's all go out for Italian food today. I'm gonna eat a huge plate of pasta. A big portion is fine, but be careful when you eat. Okay. I smiled as I watched the excited Olivia and Hannah's backs. Alright. Today, I'll treat the two girls who changed my life to whatever they want to eat. Really. Yay. Holding hands with the two of them, I headed to the Italian restaurant.